made in my life, and it is my relationship with God is sweeter and more meaningful over 40 years later. Like, I love him. I love everything about following him. So many things I didn't understand when I was young. I wish I understood earlier on. And that's what we're hoping to teach you during this series, because God's commands, this word, it leads you to life. And if you can grasp these things at the beginning of your walk with God, it's just going to lead you to the life that he designed us to have. So this first segment is called Who is God? And I honestly can't think of a more important question on this earth, because how you answer the question, who is God, not only affects your entire life, but even beyond that. And so when we ask these questions, we need to understand the answers come from here. We live in a time when everyone is about their own opinions, and it's like, well, I think God is like this, or I think God is like that. Well, God tells us what he is like. And so that's why we'll be constantly referring to this book, the Bible. This has lasted for thousands of years. This is what believers have followed. And it's true. It's always been true. It always will be true. Now, most people know Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But have you ever really meditated on that and thought about, okay, if there is someone, God, who actually spoke the world into existence, then there is a massive gap between a creator and a created being. Think about it. This being who's always been there and decides to speak a world into existence, then decides to speak you into existence. The difference between him and us is massive. This is what the Bible means when it says that he is holy. It means he's set apart. He's different from us. So there's a being in heaven, the Bible says, who determines my every breath. He determined that I would exist. And right now, he is deciding that I'm to stay alive on this earth. That's huge. As a creator, he has every right to tell me how I ought to live. Now, I know that strikes against our pride, because the thought that my life is in someone else's hands and that he can actually tell me how I'm supposed to live my life down here, yeah, that's what it means to be God. And the thing is the more you learn about what he is like, the more you begin to be grateful that he tells you how to live. It's almost like every time I get on a plane, I'm grateful I'm not flying it. There's someone up there that knows what he's doing, and it's the same thing. It's yes, we all have ideas of how life ought to work, but the creator, when you understand what he is like, you eventually go, wow, I'm so glad he's in charge. Now, the Bible talks about a